basketball!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Good Morning Let's Basketball. It's another day covering the NBA. That's our new motto here. But today we got a lot planned. We're going to jump right into it, but we're going to preface the topics we're going to go over today. First one is some trade rumors coming about before the season's even over. Pelicans looking to trade Brandon Ingram. We might see Trae and DeJounte Murray potentially move from Atlanta. And finally, KD to Miami. That's going to be a fun one. Next, we're just going to talk playoffs. We got great series all around. The Mavericks tying the Thunder and the Knicks and Pacers also tying their series. So we'll be talking all about playoffs. I'm sure we'll get to every series today. We're going to end off with a 2v2 draft of players who didn't make the playoffs. We're going to build teams with non-playoff players and let the comments decide who got the best team. So without further ado, we appreciate you guys continuing to support us. We're almost to 650 subs. That's the goal for the end of this month. So we appreciate everyone leaving a like and subscribing. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Music, we'd appreciate a rating if you enjoy the content. But 4K Kev, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so we're going to switch up start of today's episode, talk about some trade rumors that we've been buzzing around so far. First one that I want to discuss is the Pelicans have been reported to aggressively pursue trades for Brandon Ingram. Some potential landing spots, ranging from most likely to least likely, are Orlando, Atlanta, Sacktown, and Philly. So it seems like Pelicans past few years, they've kind of been a solid team, but there's always something holding them back. So they think it might be Brandon Ingram. Might be time to ship him out and see what they can get for him. You know, he's a great player. He was solid for them this season. He always has been pretty good for them. But the team that can most likely land him, Orlando. Orlando has come up with a few players near the end of the season. I know Klay Thompson was in there. I saw Paul George's name floating around for Orlando as well. But where would you guys like to see possibly Brandon Ingram end up on either of these teams? And do you think the Pelicans should trade him?
I'm going to be honest. Yes, I think the Pelicans should trade him. But, bro, seeing Brandon Ingram on Sacktown is scary. That's a
That would
scary
be nice.
squad.
They could use him there. I actually kind of do like that. I saw the Magic have the highest odds to land them from like DraftKings odds, which was kind of interesting. They wanted Clay, and it seems like Clay has mutual interest to go there too. But one of the spots that you mentioned, I think would probably be the worst option for him to go is probably the Cavaliers, because it seems like this is going to be Donovan Mitchell's last year with the Cavs. They're talking about trading him, and he could probably potentially move on from there, and then like adding Brandon Ingram there. I just don't see it doing good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
know. Go ahead, Daniel.
I was just pretty much gonna agree. I mean, I think BI hasn't really made a name for himself on that Pelicans team. I mean, sorry, not that he hasn't made a name for himself, but just he hasn't really made a lasting impact, I feel, on that team. And it might be time to just look for new horizons, look for somewhere where maybe he fits the puzzle a little bit better. I think that could be Sacramento. I think, him not being one of the bigger or one of the more obvious options on that team, I think would allow him to settle into more of I don't want to say role player role, but kind of just take a back seat and come in as he's needed. I don't agree, or I definitely agree with you, Vic. I think if Donovan Mitchell is out of Cleveland, then it probably wouldn't work out. But if in some universe Donovan Mitchell does stay on the Cavaliers, I don't necessarily hate that lineup. I think BI could probably fit there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I think best case scenario, he ends up on a team like Sacktown.
Yeah, if Donovan Mitchell stayed, I think it wouldn't be bad. But just having Brandon Ingram there without Donovan Mitchell, I don't think the Cavs would be that much better than they are currently.
I
I think
agree.
they probably be worse off, to be honest. But I think he definitely fits Orlando. I think Orlando, out of the teams I listed, is probably his best fit. Orlando, they like to play big. Every single player in their starting lineup besides point guard is like 6'7" and above. So he would definitely fit there. He would give them scoring, which is something they desperately need. Paulo Banchero really came to his own in the playoffs in that game 7 closeout game against the Cavaliers. He scored 38 points, which is a really good sign to show that he, in his first time ever in the playoffs, that he was performing well and he was playing extremely well. And I think with another scorer being there, it can really open up the space and allow Paolo to do some more work as well and continue to improve. So Orlando is probably be my number one spot to see him go to, and then Sacramento would definitely be number two.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just like I want to mention because I'm just like peeking at his season stats the last two seasons. There's been a dip in points, rebounds, and assists. Not a severe dip, but the scoring's down about 5 points this season. And he did play more games this season, which is always a good thing. Um, but it's going to be interesting because he's definitely looking to have a bounce back season. I do agree with you though. I like the Orlando situation. I think Sacramento's more dangerous as a team, but I think if Brandon Ingram truly wants to reach or like get back to that potential that he showed last season, I think that's going to be the best option. Orlando would be. I like that fit a lot.
I know the Pelicans, they were talking about that they wanted to keep Zion and try to trade up in the draft to get a better like star or something in the draft to pair alongside Zion. What do you guys think about that?
I feel like that would be good, just not this draft.
Yeah, I was
Because
thinking the same thing.
this draft, there's good players in this draft, but there's not really one player in this draft where you're like, yo, this dude
Yeah.
is like the guy. The only name off the top of my head that I think could be like a star out of this draft is Alexander Sarr from the Perth Wildcats. Um, France produced another 7 foot demigod that can pretty much do anything. That's Alex Sarr. He's projected to go number one. 7 foot one Frenchman. He can defend. He can shoot. Pretty much do anything. But
As with
it's
most
not
number
really.
one
It's
picks nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't really think me saying that or anyone else saying that holds too much weight nowadays. So he's definitely like the guy to get in this draft, but I don't really see the Pelicans getting the number one pick unless they like package up BI and someone else, send them to Atlanta. Because Atlanta was a name on here, but then again, I don't think Atlanta would ever give up that number one pick.
I think I would
Just
change. I would say my answer to like what's the worst place PI could end up is probably the Hawks. I don't think it's the Cavs.
was that an option? Was that one of his projected teams?
I mean, it says that
Oh yeah,
he,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You're right. Damn, yeah, that'd be an awkward fit. Dude, they have so many wings already. Like I don't that team is just all wings, bro. I swear.
With Ingram, Mobley, and Jared Allen, that'd be a big, big lineup. Just those three right there.
Oh, I was talking about Atlanta, but yes, you're still right with the Cavs take.
Oh, I thought you said Cleveland is like all
Yeah,
wings.
I was referring to Atlanta. Dude, like Atlanta has so many wings, bro. It's
Yeah,
like
they do.
DeJounte Murray, Sadiq Bey, you got AJ Griffin, you got Bogdanovich. Like, bro, there's just like where does he fit? It's so weird. I don't think he'd solve any issue. I think Brandon Ingram is a talented player, and I think he's gonna come back, but I don't think if they can't get it done with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, I don't know what Brandon Ingram is gonna fix there. But
Yeah, kind of bounces us to our next trade talk that we have here. Trae Young and DeJounte Murray potentially leaving Atlanta. I think either one of these guys will not be on the Hawks next season. I think this summer, either one or the other is gonna be elsewhere. Now, I saw something the other day. It said the perfect landing spot for Trae Young, not like a perfect landing spot for him necessarily, but a perfect team to acquire Trae Young would be the Spurs
yeah,
because the spacing. He's a great point guard. Obviously, we know what he can do, despite him being in the top five most overrated players in the league via the NBA player voting pool every single year, which, I feel like that's kind of just hate driven rather than like actual knowledge driven. But what San Antonio really needs is a point guard that can play make and can score. Because they had Trey Jones, who is a great playmaker, but he wasn't really a scoring threat. They need a point guard that can do both. I think Trae Young would fill that role perfectly. Trae Young is a guy that can shoot threes from 30 feet. We've seen him do it numerous times. And that could also be really great for Wemby, too, in his development and allow more space for him. So I think, honestly, the Spurs getting Trae Young or Murray would be great. If the Spurs somehow got DeJounte Murray back, that'll be like the greatest fleece of all time because he was there.
I think
And that's where he like rose as like a very good solid NBA player was in San Antonio.
I remember he was damn near averaging a triple double at one point. There was like the whole All-Star debate whether or not he should have been an All-Star. Do you remember that? Or was that a fever dream?
This season?
No, this was like when he was his last season on the Spurs, I think. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
the thing I saw about the Spurs is like it's like such a weird topic. It's that no one on the team can make an entry pass. Have you guys seen any of that? Like no
Yeah,
one on the Spurs can enter the ball into the post for
it's
Wemby.
actually it's actually it's actually pretty sad.
When you
Like
got Jeremy's
It's
it doesn't
such a
even have to
weird
be like
skill.
it doesn't even have to be like a solid entry pass. Just throw it up.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
He's gonna get it.
yeah, like,
well, when
Yeah.
you have a guy that has never ran point guard in his life become a point guard for an experiment, I think you're
Oh,
gonna get some of that.
imagine
But
throwing a
he,
bounce pass at Wembenyama's fucking knees
but
when he's 7 foot.
but even Trae Jones, like as good of a point guard he is, like even the Spurs game I've watched, he wasn't even able to do it.
yeah, it's just such a weird like stat you wouldn't think a lot about, but then you like see it and it's like, damn, bro, they actually can't get the ball to him when he posts up. It's sad as fuck, but Trae Young is definitely a player who can get the ball to him. I think DeJounte Murray might be a little too ball dominant on the Spurs for like my personal opinion, but I mean Trae Young is damn near a seamless fit. Gives you another score, like you said, someone who's looking to. I mean, he's a scorer, but like he can also be a pass first point guard. Like he's one of the best passers in the league, one of the most underrated playmakers. So I yeah, man, he averaged 10.8 assists this year. Like that guy's gonna get Wemby the ball. So I like that. He might average 45 fucking points playing for the Spurs though.
Honestly, it's really interesting to see what route they're going to take with having Trae Young and Murray on their squad currently, and also having the number one pick in this year's upcoming draft, which is absolutely insane that they got because they had a 3% chance at landing the number one pick. Meanwhile, the Detroit Pistons won 14 games this year and have the fifth pick.
Shout out to
That
the five.
is that is
Just like
that's
last year.
that's
Last year they
robbery.
were
They
They're
got the
trying to
worst
they're trying to
possible position.
they're trying to destroy the Detroit Pistons so they can rebuild the law or make a Las Vegas or expand the league and build a Las Vegas team soon. They're trying to that's sabotage. They're trying to sabotage the Pistons.
They're trying to turn the Pistons into the Oakland Athletics, bro.
they can't have shit in Detroit, man.
You
Literally,
can't,
bro.
yeah, you can't have shit in Detroit.
Dude,
Shout
but
out-
Not
so
even
what
a
were you gonna
top three
say?
pick with having 14 wins.
That's horrible,
That's sad. It's actually trifling.
bro. Like, just rig it at that point, bro. Just rig it. I'm fine
Remember
with it being rigged.
remember the um Jimmy High Roller video that said that at this pace the Detroit Pistons won't win 82 games until like 2028, I think, or something like that.
Just wait till they get Tobias Harris, man. Just wait on it.
Holy shit.
Vic, I know you were gonna say something though. Go ahead.
I was just say they also asked Wemby like if he would want to play with Trae Young, and he obviously said yes. So you already see that mutual interest, and I think Coach Pop, man, he's thirsty for one last spring. Get him Trae Young. You guys,
Is
what were you gonna say?
is Trae Young really pushing the needle like that though?
That's what I was about to ask you guys. If they got Trae Young, are they breaking 500?
It's hard to say no when this year like Wembanyama did what he did on a minute restriction, and we can only imagine what he's going to do next season. There obviously are a lot of holes on that Spurs team and things that need to be addressed before they're a competitive, team. But I mean, yeah, adding Trae Young, I think, does solve a lot of those problems and kind of puts an answer on a lot of those questions.
The team is extremely young right now, and so there's a lot of inexperience with all those guys. Also, defense too. Their defense is quite horrendous. So adding Trae Young it definitely doesn't help the defense, but it helps out the offense a lot, which could be a start. It's definitely a start. You know, you can't. It's kind of just got to pick our battles here. As far as them being 500, I don't really know because the teams that in the Western Conference that were like close to 500 weren't the Rockets. I think they were like damn near 500. I think the Warriors were like just like not that far above 500, and I do not think the Spurs adding Trae Young are like as good as those teams.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to say, bro. I mean, one thing I was really upset with the Spurs this season is Keldon Johnson, just like his decline as a player. Because I know y'all remember him on Team USA hooping, keeping spirits alive. But yeah, man. I mean, 22 points to 15. That's pretty sad. Like, I wish that guy could be that wing for them because Devin Vassell is rising too. So if Vassell's obviously a positive player, you pair him with Trae Young, that's a very solid offense at least. You have Wemby, who arguably should have won Defensive Player of the Year, had a shot at it already. We know what he's capable of, but Keldon Johnson is just like that piece that I feel like he's the X factor for whether or not they could potentially be successful with that.
Mentioned Devin Vassell.
Hey, Daniel's from the future. Daniel predicted the rise of Devin Vassell. Dude, he had a great season.
He
Yeah.
did. He's been playing well. It's unfortunate that the Spurs aren't um keeping up with the hype of that team, but you know, there's always next season, and we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely gonna go against what Kevin said though. I would say if they were to add Trae Young, they would be above 500. I'm not saying they'd win the championship, but that's just my opinion. I think they would do well.
I'm gonna be
But
honest.
Maybe if
one question that I do think we should address is what the hell would the Spurs have to give up to get Trae Young?
uh shit. It's a good question.
That's why I
Probably
don't
Devin Vassell or Keldon
Yeah.
Johnson.
It's fuck.
give up Devin Vassell, keep DeJounte Murray. If you're the Hawks, do you go for that?
Zach Collins. Give him Zach Collins.
I
Yeah,
was
I mean
just
they'd
about to
have to
say
give up
that.
more, obviously. Probably. Do the Spurs have any draft stock, or did they waste it all?
They should have plenty of picks to give up, but that's interesting. I don't know, man. Um, I would say for sure one of either Keldon or Devin Vassell will be gone. Preferably, I assume for the Hawks it would be Devin Vassell they'd want to fill the guard position in, unless they have faith in Kobe Buffkin and AJ Griffin. But I think it's still too early for all that.
Devin Vassell, like you said, he had a good season, but he shoots so much.
I mean, who else is going to besides Wemby though?
True.
It
Like,
just gave it to Wemby.
imagine like that's what I said. Like, imagine putting Trae Young in the position to shoot those shots. Like Trae Young's gonna average 40 points, bro.
He probably win another scoring title like he did last
True,
year.
true. I forgot you did that. I mean, man, if Josh Primo wasn't slinging his shit, bro, they could be good already. The dude had so much potential.
Yeah, he
He's on,
did.
he's on the Clippers now, though. I think.
Or the Spurs could possibly package up Sohan if the Hawks would want him. Probably absolutely not. If I was the Hawks, I'd be like, no, please never include his name.
Sohan's game just pisses me off. Respect to the man,
Yeah.
because I know he's like a solid player, but damn, bro, he's hard to watch. Just the game he plays.
Yeah, he it is that you put it perfectly. He is really tough to watch.
Who
That
was it? Who is the player last season that was in trade rumors, but like his team was like not serious about trading him? Was it Dame? Like it wasn't that they weren't serious about trading him, but like every time an offer would come through, they'd be like, "Hell no, that doesn't work for us." Do you know who
It
I'm
was
talking
Dame.
about? It was Dame.
It was
That's
Dame and the Miami Heat.
okay. Yeah. Dame in the Miami Heat. I, that's how kind of I see this Trae Young situation going. I feel like the Hawks are gonna play this like weird game of like getting offers but being like, no, that's not serious enough. Like they're going to expect so much in exchange for Trae Young, which you should expect a lot for him, but I just see this going as like I see this going way too long, and I see the Hawks kind of holding Trae Young hostage until they see something that they can't say no to.
Going like looking at Trae Young, he's 25 years old. Obviously, wants to win a championship. Do you even think he wants to go to San Antonio?
Yes.
Just because like how competitive the West is and how tough it is to actually get into the playoffs with the level of competition in there. His championship window, like for there, might take a couple years.
I mean, I don't think it's any worse than Atlanta. I'm gonna be honest. And Wemby's come up is one of the greatest come ups we've seen. He's already doing this shit as a rookie. I'm sure that I think I'm ready to say that if they trade for Trae Young, I think the Spurs are closer to a championship than the Hawks are still.
Absolutely.
Call that a hot take, but
No, I agree 100%.
the Hawks are
I don't
just
even,
shitty, bro. They're just so mid.
yeah, I don't even think
Yeah.
that was a hot take.
Like that's like Trae Young is like their ceiling. You put Trae Young on the Spurs, bro, that ceiling raises, especially as these players start to age. Like we see the Thunder, what they're doing at their age. I don't see why the Spurs can't.
I also think that the Western Conference is going to get shaken up, and it's going to be a kind of last man standing situation where, um, you're going to have like just a combination of a bunch of teams that we haven't seen in the playoffs before. Rockets are a good example of a team that in the next 2 or 3 years are probably going to make a playoff experience, and they're going to be another team that you have to beat. Until this year, Minnesota didn't seem like the powerhouse that they are. So I think that if the Spurs were able to kind of win out in the Western Conference, it's I mean it's not easier, but I don't know. I always favor the Western Conference team right now. So I think that if you go through the Western Conference, you've basically punched your ticket as the next champion. And I stand on that even
You
this year.
you better stand on that. You
I
better
stand on
stand
that
on
this
that
year too.
when the Celtics beat the shit out of whoever comes out of the West. You better
I
stand on that.
I realistically think that
Victor, clip
the
this. Clip
Celtics are
this.
going the Celtics are going to shit themselves when they've been playing the Eastern Conference this whole time and they have to play the Western Conference last man standing.
You'll be enlightened soon. Let's move on to KD.
Yeah. Moving on to our last potential offseason move. Where is Kevin Durant's next chapter gonna be? Because I think everyone's kind of just concerned to see what Phoenix is gonna do this offseason. Part of me feels like they're gonna do nothing, but because they did so much to get this big three and it became nothing to get swept by a 22-year-old. But there's some buzz around KD to Miami. When he requested a trade from Brooklyn, his two destinations that he wanted to end up at were Miami and Phoenix.
The two one
Ultimately went to
seeds.
Phoenix. Two
Two
one
one
seeds,
seeds.
yes, at the time. Got to Phoenix, so good for him. But if they were to make a trade, he could possibly find his way to Miami. I saw another report earlier today saying that Miami might not be able to extend or re-sign Caleb Martin, which to me is kind of crazy just because I thought that was their boy. But
Exactly.
yeah, but I think them trading for Terry Rozier made that so they don't know if they're going to be able to bring Caleb Martin back. So they kind of like weigh their options there. So I think they're going to choose Rozier over Caleb Martin. But if that's the case, obviously that can free up cap space to possibly land KD. But with KD going to Miami, that makes them pretty competitive in the East. I think got Jimmy, got Rozier, got KD, got Bam, who had a pretty good season. Jaime's obviously still around,
He's actually in the
but
Zoom call too.
but
Yeah,
KD to
Jaime, what
All
do
Miami,
you got to
right.
say?
Huh?
what would have to
Said, what do you got to say, Jaime?
Yeah, Jaime, what do you put on your headband, bro? It's
All
game
right.
time.
Mike Sabonis can hush up, all right? I'll see you. He's out of the playoffs for a reason.
So are the Heat. I'm fucked. All right, Kevin, I'm sorry.
No, that was it. I need you guys to talk now
Okay. Okay. So
since you couldn't wait to.
I couldn't let
It's
that
like,
joke. Bro, as Kevin, you should never let that one fly by considering he made a Clay joke on this podcast.
happens. Look at him.
I guess the one thing I'll pitch in, I don't have too much to say because it's damn near a recurring theme with Kevin Durant, but Bradley Beal's no trade clause in his contract really fucked the Suns over because that obviously is the guy you'd want to trade, and you literally cannot trade him unless he approves it. So that's a terrible situation considering they got swept. I'm pretty sure they were just betting against that the whole time, and they ended up getting swept. So now they have that contract. I don't think it's smart to trade 27-year-old Devin Booker. So KD is obviously the guy out. The problem is he has an injury history, and he's what, 36, 36, 30. Is he that old? Is he
I think he's
36?
I think he's 35. He will be 36 next season, I believe.
Okay. So, either way, old, 35 he is right now, injury history. It's going to be tough for the Heat to get the most out of him. I know he just had his best season, but he's going to decline eventually. So having him on a long-term contract probably isn't an option for them. And I don't I don't think they do much. I don't think they do much with him. I'm gonna be honest. Rozier, Butler, Bam, Katie. It sounds good in theory, but I'd have to see it before I believe it. It's almost like I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that'll work, but that's just me. I like to hear what you guys think.
I'm gonna piss off some viewers here and say that I couldn't give less of a shit where the KD goes. Yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna say I've lost faith in KD, but for some reason, I think the man might be cursed in a lot of different ways. I think he has to pull kind of another Warrior situation and just join a team where he knows is working well. Um, he is still that guy. He's still that number one guy on a team. He's still going to be he's going to make an impact on whatever team he joins. But enough to win a finals, I think he's got to go somewhere big. I'm not saying get Nuggets or Celtics, but I mean, you got to imagine that he's got to basically go again. He's got to go against his intuition of wanting to join a team and start it from the ground up and everything. Which I guess he didn't even really do that with the Suns, but I don't know. I just foresee him having to, yeah, do another kind of Golden State situation and join a team where he knows they're competitive and he knows they're in a very good position to win, and he just kind of is the icing on the cake. Right. He's not the cake. He's the icing. He's the cherry on top. He's the last little part that you need to push you over the finish line, but he is not the person that I don't know that you can rely on in my opinion. So yeah, I don't care where he ends up, but um I'll predict that man I don't think will win another championship.
I I honestly agree with Kevin saying that he doesn't see the Suns doing anything. It seems like the owner was like happy with his team. He was saying like he can get anything back in return for all these stars that they got. The only thing I could see them doing is really signing some point guard. Maybe they'll sign Patrick Beverly to just motivate them or something. But if KD went to Miami, I think it'd be so overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of tired of these like super threes or super teams and like big threes that are trying to be formed to try to like recreate what LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh had because I'm over it. I'm over that hype. I think it's kind of dead. I like what all these like new teams are starting to do, like how build like a franchise like the Warriors, how they started from the draft. Now we're starting to see that with the Nuggets, Celtics as well. And I don't know. I just do not see it working in Miami.
Hey, I like that you said it's time for him to be the cherry on top, Daniel, because it's time for a Thunder reunion. Bring the man back. He'll
Yeah,
get
I
him
mean like
over the top if
exactly.
they
Like
don't win it.
see
Discussed
that
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 before.
yeah, that's like the perfect situation for him. A team that's already doing so well and just adding another elite scorer, someone that's been there before, someone that has culture in that team and in that city. Um, he just needs to I think he just needs to settle into that idea though, that he's not the guy. I don't know. I'm not gonna elaborate further, but I'm kind of on my hating on KD shit right now.
The Thunder have all the draft picks in the world to offer up to Phoenix as well. I mean, the Thunder have a lottery pick in the upcoming draft, and they're
That
a one
does
seed in the playoffs right now,
that does
and
kind
they have
of
a lottery pick.
that kind of washes away the Phoenix Suns sins of the like not sins, but it alleviates some of the sting from this situation not working out, I think, is having a promising future with picks.
It's interesting to think. Do you think Thunder fans would even like I feel like there's still animosity with KD from them for what he did. I don't think they would even like him to come back at this point.
You know, they'd say that, but if it were to happen, they'd be happy as hell.
Damn.
I don't know.
I believe.
I don't know. I kind of see both of your guys's points. I think I would lean towards Miles. I think Thunder fans would probably um not so much as not want KD, but they're content and happy with what they have. And it's almost like an abusive ex coming back into your life. It's like, nah, I don't really want to do that again, you know? So, but like Kevin said too, I mean, how can you not say no to KD on
It's KD.
on a Thunder team? Um, I don't know. I lean towards Miles though. I do think that the Thunder wouldn't be ecstatic about, getting him back. I think they would just be like, all right, fine. And then they'd win a championship and then all would be forgiven.
Should be mentioned, I'm pretty sure. Do they have their second round pick this year? I think they have their second round pick this year. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But after this year, they don't have a pick until 2028. So if they're going to make a trade, they're going to have to go after teams that have picks for them, which the Thunder do fit that script. So Trae Young and KD to San Antonio. Close the book. Let's try one more super team. See what happens.
No, I can. What I see happening is Adam Silver cooking old school versus new school. He puts KD, LeBron, and Curry all on the same team. Draymond floats around in there just to serve as the enforcer, settle the
Get
beef, a
get
neutral.
LeBron water.
Yeah, get LeBron water. I don't
It's
know.
crazy.
I don't know. Well, LeBron to the Warriors could be possible because I think I saw something the other day. I've been seeing LeBron or Bronny combine highlights all freaking day,
Yeah, it's
Really?
ridiculous. It's
dude.
ridiculous.
I haven't seen him yet.
Like it's crazy. They did like the shooting drill where you get 25 shots. He hit 19 of them, pretty good. But then they had the scrimmage where he scored 4 points, and one of the points he scored was a floater, and it was an Instagram post where there was like multiple posts in one, and three out of the four posts were that floater. Like it's getting super, super ridiculous. And I
Yeah.
think the Warriors, I remember seeing something that the Warriors expressed interest in possibly drafting Bronny. And if that's the case, Bron and Curry in Golden State.
It's crazy.
Again, just like I said with, you know, TJD, I think the Warriors have some of the best player development, and there are some good things that Bronny holds uh, that would probably be good on an NBA team. And I think just having, the coaching staff and trainers and stuff could probably get him to where he needs to be a phenomenal role player somewhere. But other than that, I am getting tired of seeing the Bronny stuff. I mean, he placed, I think, fourth in his vertical or something like that, and he shot, like Evan said, 19 for 25, and he scored his average in college. So, I mean, there's just nothing special there. But that being said, I did see something that the Lakers are supposedly saying that AD is off limits in trade talks, but LeBron is not. So, Yeah, very interesting. I would like to see LeBron leave the Lakers. I think that was one of the worst places that I think that was probably one of the worst decisions that he's made um in his career, at least in my opinion.
Call me crazy, but I kind of feel like Bronny is similar to Aaron Nesmith, bro. If he were to make it to the league,
Avery
I feel
Bradley.
Avery Bradley.
That's
I
not a
don't know if
bad
he's
comparison.
that good of a defender. Also, I think he's a better shooter than Avery Bradley. I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I like Aaron Nesmith a little more just because that guy is literally 3 and D, and Bronny won't make it to the league if he cannot play defense, which apparently he can. So we'll see. Um, but as far as I know, ESPN is going to do whatever it takes to get Bronny to the NBA. So we'll see.
So that wraps up today's discussion for potential offseason moves. We're now going to be moving on to our playoff series talk. Starting off with the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves. After Denver being down 0-2 the other night, they tied up the series 2-2, and they will be playing their game 5 tonight at the time of this recording in about a few hours. Now, when Denver went down 0-2, it was pretty damn scary. I'm not gonna lie. I was shook, especially after game 2. Like they just looked
They
like a
looked
JV
horrible.
team. They looked
Horrible.
like garbage. They looked like literally like a JV team. But then these past 2 games, they looked like the Denver Nuggets.
Yep.
And some because Aaron Gordon all of a sudden
Hmm.
has just became like I don't even know who his comparison would be. This dude's like popping threes, hitting middies. He has like back to back, damn near back to back 20-point games. He had 27, then he had a game where he had like 15, then he had 25 again. Like it's quite absurd. Aaron Gordon definitely took a jump. He took being down 0-2 personally.
True.
That was personal for him. That's all he needed was to go down 0-2. So yeah, this series it's been kind of exciting so far. I think the winner of Game 5 may decide who the winner of the series is, and that is tonight, which I'm very excited to watch on it.
Yeah, so I'm when the Nuggets went down, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this is not just unexpected. This is impossible. This is ridiculous, right? And I think there's only one explanation when something's impossible. Vegas made the call. It was too obvious. Timberwolves were in a million different universes. No one ever was gonna bet on the Timberwolves winning 2 games in a row. If someone bet that, I I don't know. Give them everything. Give them all the money that exists in DraftKings. Because yeah, no one expected that to happen. All jokes aside, though, I do think that the Nuggets are the better team in this series. Um, we've seen it happen last year and the year before that, where just I don't want to say random guys because Aaron Gordon isn't random, but um, there's just so many guys on that team that can get a bucket on a random Tuesday night and can just really kick it into high gear. And when you already have the phenom that is Jokic coming at you, and he has 45 or 30 or 20 and 10. And then you also have, Jamal Murray, and they've got so many guys on this Nuggets team that can really make an impact. And when even just one of those guys is doing slightly better than they usually do, they are an incredibly hard team to beat. Yeah, so I foresee this series going in favor of the Nuggets. I think that the Timberwolves had their fun, and they are a very good team, and next year they're definitely going to play with a chip on their shoulder. But I see the Nuggets coming out of this series.
Wow, 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 wow. No love. Look how the scripts flipped, man.
Flip
I'm
never
going.
script. I showed Victor we rewinded the tapes, and when Kevin asked what, like, if I thought that the Nuggets were gonna lose, I went like this, and that was when they were down 2-0. But then I went into the long 3 or 4 minute tangent where I was just spewing nonsense because but I was basically trying to say that I thought the Nuggets still had a chance and they were still gonna win. So my script did not change.
All
Redeemed
right.
yourself this week.
To be
I
fair,
I didn't flip either.
yeah, I know
I'm
I know
out
for
there.
sure Kevin was Denver. I still think the Timberwolves are gonna win, but despite the allegations, I never actually counted Denver out. I still think the Wolves will win, but I do think
I don't
Denver's still
know,
has a
dude.
I'm going
I'll
No,
T
have to
Wolves.
I'm
I'll
beating
have
these
to
allegations.
I'll have to reenact this scenario. I'm in Miles' living room. We're watching Dallas Thunder game 1. I'm sitting on the couch. Miles is sitting somewhere over there. I said, "Is Denver cooked?" And I quote, "Is Denver cooked?" Down 0-2. Or what I say? I said, "Is Denver coming back?" And Miles said, in quotations, "Hell nah." I
I was
saw it.
mocking the fucking dog, bro, with the
I
button.
heard it. I don't know. I heard it. I
Hell
saw it.
no.
We could have him. Never mind, actually.
Yeah,
Hey,
not his dog.
yeah.
No, I know.
What I was gonna say is bouncing off game 5 stats, because I always throw this in whenever a series goes to game 5. Teams that win game 5 of a best of 7 series in the NBA go on to win the series 83% of the time.
I was really hoping to not. I've seen that 100 times today too.
What was it?
Oh wait,
Wait, what was it
really?
again?
Sorry, I don't have social media, bro. I don't see these things.
No, it's cool. I mean,
I thought I was doing something nice by throwing
it's
this
gonna
in here.
that stat is gonna be showed 500 times tonight for the Pacers game and the Denver game. That
Shit.
graphic is gonna pop up in the bottom of the screen every fucking quarter. It's
What is
gonna
it?
Lonzo
pop up.
Ball. Lonzo Ball, top 5 dead or
So
alive.
whichever team, when the series is tied 2-2, whichever team wins game 5 wins the series. What was it? 85% of the time?
83.
83% of the time.
Damn. Fuck
Can't
me.
argue with numbers. I don't know. I'm all forces ahead. Pacers. Screw the Knicks. I don't give a fuck. Give me Pacers. Please. I want to see the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be so cool.
Real quick before we go to Pacers and New York, I did want to say, first off, Justin Holiday decided to bang threes off the bench for Denver the other night.
Dude, he went
Crazy.
off.
Dude was straight bottoms. And NBA fans are coming back into their own. They were acting a little bit out of character these few days. The Rudy Gobert hate is back.
I saw that.
You saw that? They switched like this. They switched up on Rudy Gobert.
Dude, it was so quick. They're like, I think even Kendrick Perkins was like, oh, Rudy Gobert, he's defensive player of the year in the regular season, then disappears in the playoffs. He already said that today, I think.
Yeah, I saw someone say that they were like, the dude literally can't grab a rebound. He had like 14 last game. And someone said that, but they're like, we should have had like 35. I was like, who the hell is grabbing 35 boards?
That's crazy, bro. It's because they don't actually watch the fucking games, man.
I know. Like, I was watching the game. He wasn't playing that bad. I didn't think.
Hey man, when the Nuggets are playing good, it's hard to stop that team, man. Like Jokic is like a magician with passing the ball to Aaron Gordon. There was one pass I remember watching the last game they played. I was like, damn, I don't even know how he got that pass through. Like he faked, he got Cat to come help, and then like kind of threw it like behind. It was insane. But
Yeah.
I wanted to say, I honestly like this series has been amazing. I think it might be the best series of the playoffs. Like not including the finals, whatever the finals matchup is. It might even be better than that.
You guys are so full of shit, bro. I swear you guys are so full of shit. How are you
Who's you
gonna
guys?
say
I didn't
how are
say
you,
that.
how are you gonna say this series is better than a series you haven't even watched yet? Head ass.
Hey,
Wait, what did he say?
I'm
Wait, what did you say,
predicting.
Victor?
I'm saying this series might be
I don't
better
like
than
how
the finals.
I don't like how we said you guys. One person said it.
I
All
know.
right, fine.
Wait, Victor, what did you
Victor
say though?
and
I
arguably
I
Daniel.
think the Thunder and Mavs series is low key better, but I
Wait,
don't know.
I was looking at something. What were you guys saying?
I was
Bro,
saying
just not
that the
listening to the
series.
podcast.
I was saying this series might be better than the whatever the potential finals matchup is.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Like,
That's that is
how do
crazy.
you say this series is better than a series we haven't seen yet?
I'm just predicting it, man. I think
No,
The
you're
Celtics are
setting
gonna get
yourself up for
steamrolled.
failure because you're just gonna
He's
be
gonna cut
watching
this
and
part out anyway. I already know.
you're gonna be
I
watching the
won't.
finals. You're gonna be watching the finals and you're gonna be like, man, this isn't even good. It's like game two, second quarter. They're
Let
tied.
me let me edit the pod this week so I can keep this clip in because I know
It's
you're cutting it.
it's gonna be in. It's gonna be in. Whoever the Celtics play, the Celtics are getting swept.
I don't know, Victor. You think you said about 2 times too many?
We will
Might cut
talk
this
off
whole
this
season.
pod and we'll put money on it.
How much?
I do $50 at the Celtics win the chip this year.
50? 50's not bad.
I really don't think that they're going to.
But regardless, Denver T-Wolves has been interesting so far. But another game 5 that we have tonight, starting up here shortly, actually. Indiana and New York. Man, this New York team are beat up. They are burns out. Playing for Coach Thibodeau is not sustainable.
It's
I've
brutal.
witnessed it. I've witnessed it for longer than I wanted to. But yeah, man, Pacers are looking solid. If they can somehow, if they make the conference finals, regardless of them beating injured teams first 2 rounds, it's still impressive. I don't want to take that away from them. You know,
I
this
do.
team did have this team did have the number one offense this year.
That's true. That's true. Fuck them. Beat a team that isn't hurt. Come play the Celtics.
Celtics have only beat teams that are hurt.
Who?
Miami didn't
Miami?
have their best player. Cleveland hasn't had Jared Allen the whole series, and Donovan Mitchell didn't play last game.
They're saying Donovan Mitchell's gonna be out next game too.
Well, we don't have Porzingis, so that like cancels out. I think the Cleveland
You're
series
damn
does
near
not
better
count.
with
I'll
you're
give you the
damn near
Heat.
better without him.
I'll give you the
My
Heat.
Pacers are gonna steamroll your Celtics.
Your
Your
Pacers.
Pacers.
You the owner? You the CEO?
They didn't know. I bought it for a crisp $10 bill back in
Sounds about right.
1782.
Nah, but yeah, I think I've been really enjoying the series between them. It sucks, dude. It sucks OG couldn't play last game because dude, the Knicks are just like always right there and they just smoke it at the end. Like they just don't have enough gas to finish the fucking game out. It's
Besides
actually
last
like
game.
it's yeah, besides last game, but it's actually like the Tibbs effect. It's so upsetting, bro. They're just gassed. The injuries are piling up right when it matters. It sucks, but um
What
either way,
happens?
man. The Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton's comeback after starting the playoffs rough has been impressive. It's been really fun to watch. Um, Not a lot to say though, honestly, on the series. I thought the Knicks would beat them in like 5, but already
if
that's not possible.
if Brunson or DiVincenzo or anybody that's beloved by that Knicks fan base goes down the way D Rose did, they will put Thibodeau on the train tracks of the local fucking subway, dude. He will not make it past midnight. And I'm all here. I'm here for it, man. If he does it to another player, another star, oh, dude, we got to riot. He's got to be put in jail for that.
No,
And
that's true.
I don't think we're far off from that happening. I don't.
I mean,
Oh,
Brunson left the game early. OG has been hurt. It's bad, dude. Brando's
Josh Hart is
obviously
grabbing
hurt.
18 rebounds every game.
What were you
yeah.
gonna say, Vic?
I was just say talking about the injuries. One thing that I saw interesting, like earlier in the season when the Knicks first got OG and Anunoby, was that there was an article that came out that he's not comfortable playing through injury at all. Like he wants to be at least like 90 to 100%.
Oh, well, that's a lame thing to say,
Yeah, it's pretty
especially
soft.
when you're in the Eastern when you're in the position to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Grow up
Yeah, like
there.
play through it, you know? I mean, obviously, if it's a serious injury like his calf strain is, then that's one thing. But like, bro,
I got to think about my future. Win now. Think about your future when you get a max contract or when you get a big deal.
Dwight
Jesus.
Howard played through sore ass cheeks. I don't want to hear it. But yeah, I just think that's. I mean, I'm not an NBA player. I don't put my body through that type of pain unless you count curling some 30s at the gym, that type of pain. But I don't. But yeah, I think that sounds kind of soft to me. I hate to hate on him because I really like him, but that doesn't seem like I feel like 90% of NBA players aren't in that same mindset.
I would hope not. Or else they wouldn't be champions.
What about the Thunder and Mavs series?
Mm.
Tied up 2-2, heading back to Oklahoma City. I think this series is really fun to watch. PJ Washington, for some reason, is like
He's like
the
Caleb
leading
Martin.
scorer. He's like the leading scorer for Dallas right now. No, not like he is actually like the leading scorer for Dallas this series. Pretty crazy. But both these teams have been looking pretty solid. The games are extremely competitive, other than really game one near like the end, like the last 5 minutes. But every other game has been really competitive. The Thunder have been facing some adversity this series, which I think is good for them, how young they are, because the first series they just didn't face that at all. They just steamrolled the Pelicans. So I think this is really good for them. But yeah, this series has been great. I think it's been kind of better than the Denver series because the Denver series, like every game has been damn near a blowout. Like the first four games, not every single game, but I feel like the Thunder and Mavs series so far, I feel like you can kind of comfortably say that it's the best series so far.
That I like what you said about PJ Washington because I think he did help elevate this Mavs team. It's like the piece that they were missing a little bit. He's been playing phenomenal, man, and it's good to see that they're like when Luca is getting clamped up like how he has been this series and even last series, that they have another scoring option besides him and Kyrie to go to PJ Washington.
Don't
That's supposed to be Grant Williams.
don't count out Daniel Gafford, bro.
I
The
was gonna mention him
defensive
too.
performance that he is putting on this series, not that you did count him out, you didn't, but the defensive performance that he's put on this series has been insane. Bro is blocking everything. I swear, bro. Let me pull up his block stats. You guys talk for a second. I'm gonna pull up these block stats and I'm gonna get back to you so I can get an actual number.
Since you brought that up, it's kind of crazy how in the final stretches of the game, last few minutes in the fourth quarter, they're going with Lively instead of Gafford,
That that has been interesting. That's
a
been
rookie.
interesting. Did you see
I
they were
think.
hacking him too? The hack a lively was happening.
Oh yeah, because did you see him shoot a free throw?
They were chasing. Was it who was chasing him in the last minutes
Chet,
of the game?
Chet was chasing him, and Chet
Yeah,
was chasing him with his arms out, like just
yeah,
trying to
like
get like a hand of him.
SpongeBob.
It was funny. But yeah, last few moments of the game in the fourth quarter, they had been going with the rookie Lively over Daniel Gafford, which has been kind of interesting to me. You know, at that point, no, I was going to say throwing Dwight Powell. That's just being ruthless to Derek Lively, who's had an amazing season for a rookie. But yeah, I mean, with how well Gafford's been playing, I know the dude almost has like no touch near the rim, like zero. But how well he's been rebounding and blocking shots, like I would love to have him in the final moments of the game, especially with how Shea likes to attack downhill
Yeah,
as like his primary form of scoring.
yeah. Daniel Gafford had 5 blocks in game one. Had 3 blocks last game. Like, dude, he's just such an impact maker. Like, he only played
Yeah,
23 minutes last game and he's got 3 blocks. Like, come
that's
on,
pretty
bro.
crazy.
That's nuts. But like that doesn't even tell the whole story. Like all the shots he affects too. Like not even the ones he blocks, but the ones he contests well. Like, damn, bro, he's really impressed me. Both of their moves at the trade deadline were great moves. So, one thing I did want to say is, as always, what I said about the Thunder in the playoffs is it's going to come down to them making shots. They're role players, and last game they did not make shit. So
Nope.
shout out my role players on OKC because they're the X factors, all of them, literally all of them that aren't like Shea Chat and J Dub.
Yeah,
Oh,
J
he
Dub is my
mentioned him.
breakout player, but he hasn't been playing too amazing this series.
I don't know. Uh, between Mavs and Thunder, I would rather see Thunder come out of this series just because I think that they would give us some more entertaining um matchup. Kevin has talked deeply about matchups, and I think I don't know, but I would just assume that this Thunder team would match up better against Nuggets than the Mavs would.
Whoa,
But
whoa, they haven't won yet.
yeah, well, that's why I said I think that they would match up better. But who's to say that the Mavs won't win?
I'm
No
talking
one
about the
is.
Nuggets. You said the Nuggets. The
I didn't
Wolves
say the
could win.
Nuggets.
You said they
Yeah, you
match up
did.
better against the Nuggets. The Wolves could win still.
Oh, I get what you mean. Okay, yeah,
The
yeah,
Wolves will win still.
yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, Yeah, I guess if you put it like that, Timberwolves versus Mavs would be also a fun series, and Timberwolves versus Thunder would be a fun series. Um, but yeah, it all depends on who comes out of that. My prediction is Thunder versus Nuggets. Um, but I would like to see Luka and Kyrie get to that mountaintop in the Western Conference, especially being, I wouldn't say counted out, but I don't think anyone going into this playoff series thought that the Mavs would be serious or Western Conference contenders.
Should we could we predict, just all of us give a prediction for what our Western Conference Finals matchup is?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Nuggets Thunder.
I'm going T Wolves Mavericks.
I'm gonna go Wolves for sure, and then I'm gonna go Wolves Thunder, Western Conference Finals.
Wolves Thunder. It's pretty interesting. I'm gonna go Dallas Denver.
Mm.
Jokic versus Luka playoffs. We've
Did
been
any
asking
of us
for.
pick the same matchup?
No,
No,
we
none of
had
us
all
did.
different
That's
I
matchups.
I
that's
was gonna say
crazy.
that. I was gonna say that, but I forgot what Daniel said.
I had Nuggets and Thunder, yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see who gets it. We'll see who gets it.
It
But
isn't easy, which is something that's a blessing for the fans, is the fact that it's not an easy to call
Only
series.
one of us is gonna be right.
Yep.
I guess we'll go ahead. We should just do East real quick. I got Celtics, Knicks.
I was going Celtics Knicks too.
I'm going Celtics Pacers.
Dude, honestly, like I don't even know. Like I hate to say like I'm kind of gonna give like a no shit answer. Whoever wins game five statistically 83%. But like I feel like I would know better. I'll probably go Celtics Knicks.
Okay. So Daniel's the minority on that one.
I could go 100. I could imagine if I get it right.
Literally.
100%. Yeah, literally.
Jaime Hawkins.
Ugats.
If you made it this far into the podcast, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure to leave a rating. We appreciate all that you guys do for us. And now let's get back into the pod.
We're going to do a 2v2 draft of players who did not make the playoffs this season. Me and Daniel are going to be on a team versus Kevin and Miles. Me and Daniel got the first pick, and we're going to go ahead and take Stephen Curry at our point guard.
Thank God. Stephen Wardo Curry, that was my pick too.
Casual take. Go ahead and give me, for my first pick, Victor Wembanyama. No comment. Damn. Fuck y'all, bro. Fuck y'all, bro.
I was looking.
I can't
I was
I can't I can't I can't comment on my own squad.
I was lucky thinking he was gonna get slept on.
I knew someone was gonna take him. The second player from me and Miles' squad, we're gonna go ahead and take De'Aaron Fox.
Solid.
Extremely. We got our one and our five.
Yeah.
Running Wemby at the five.
Fuck yeah.
Give us DeMar DeRozan.
Dude, no way. No.
Didn't even go through the advisory board. Just went ahead and drafted him.
No, that's his player. That's his player. All right, who's
Well, I didn't
next?
know I could talk to him about it.
Bro,
Bro,
out of
what do
everybody.
you mean? Oh shit. Okay. Kevin, what position do you want? Because I'm
Hey,
thinking
no,
of
it's me
taking.
next.
Oh yeah, fuck. Yeah. Go ahead.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's here Victor has up his sleeve.
So with our next pick, I'm gonna have to go with the guy from Sweden. Give me Lauri Markkinen.
Oh, that is a good pick.
Weigel.
That definitely would have been Kevin's pick.
I thought about it, but maybe at the three.
All right. I'm between Kevin, we need a two. I want to get a
I want to go ahead and get it.
nice
Want to go
little
ahead and
two in here.
get a good guard combo.
I think Cade Cunningham would be a better fit than LaMelo Ball for us.
Ooh, I think so too, but there might be someone else.
What do you want me to take? Sabonis at the
No,
4? Are you talking the 2?
I'm talking guard
You want a guard, huh? Okay, let me go back.
in the West.
Guard in the West. Let's see.
No.
Am I tripping? I don't want to take. If you're referring to John Morant, I don't want to take John Morant. Are you
The
referring to
same here.
John Morant?
Not ideally.
There's a different one in the West. You want me to take who? Desmond Bain?
Well, he's not a guard, is he?
He was definitely talking about John.
No, I wasn't.
I don't know. You could just tell me. Like it doesn't have to be a
It was Bane, but I didn't know if he played guard or not.
he.
I don't know
I
if he
think
was a guard or a forward.
he's technically the two. I think,
He's the two.
but you want Bain over Cade? Let me look.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I feel like Bane's a better shooter. Bane averaged 20 this year, like 22, 23.
Yeah, I guess they have. Yeah, I guess his stats are better, aren't they? All right.
That doesn't always mean pick who you want. It's your pick.
Nah, because Bane's a better defender too. That's weird. It's so weird picking Desmond Bain over Cade Cunningham. But I guess like
But in terms of what we have already, we already
statistically
have
and
a
fit wise, it would be better for Bain. Yeah,
we
you make
already
a
have
good point. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take. Let me just make sure there's. Okay, so you want me? Should we take Bain? Oh wait, we have the next pick anyway. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll take Desmond. We'll draft Desmond Bain with our shooting guard spot.
looking good.
Now
We got deep.
here's the question, Kev. Do we want a stretch four or do we take Sabonis? Because if we don't take him, they're for sure going to take him.
The other four you had in mind is he on Memphis?
We could take Jaren Jackson. That would be more solid for us because he can at least stretch a little bit. But I
And he
was
can
thinking,
shoot.
and he's really good at defense. Yeah,
Our team is pretty nice at defense.
I think Jaren Jackson might be the move.
Yeah, I think
Kuzma's
so
better
too.
offensive. No,
Oh,
not
fuck Kuzma.
Not
You talking
Kuzma.
about
Not
Kuzma?
I said not
what the
Kuzma, bro. You
fuck?
didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish. I was thinking
I
out
can't believe
loud.
it.
Or
Hell yeah,
Sengun.
you were.
Take JJ. Take Jaren Jackson.
Bet. All right, with our fourth pick for our squad, go ahead and give us Jaren Jackson Jr. at our 4.
Well, you guys thought it, and you were right. If you guys didn't get him, we were. Give us a bonus.
Bro got no defense. Cocoa butter cheese.
Coke butter cheese.
Shit, so we got Curry, DeRozan, Laurie, and Sabonis.
No defense.
All right, with our last pick, we're going to have to go with the Iron Man, Mikal Bridges.
He's having a bad season.
Miles, we could go with
Bro, let me
I
cook.
had Mikal in mind. All right. I was gonna suggest Scotty Barnes, but go ahead. Your pick.
You're not gonna like who I take.
Don't fuck up our team.
Do I sell it? Do I sell it right now?
No. Just because Daniel did doesn't mean we have to.
Bro, I want to take Grant Williams so bad.
Bro, actually, like that would just ruin everything.
I also wanted to take Kobe White earlier, but I didn't. Maybe DeJounte. No, DeJounte at the 3?
He usually plays the 2 or the 1.
True.
Unless we move Desmond Bain to the 3. Then we have Fox and
Yeah, no,
DeJounte.
DeJounte's too ball dominant, I think, for our team. We need Fox to have the ball and Bain to come off screens. I'm thinking like I like Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes might be the move. Although
He had a great season.
he did 28, 6, 40% from oh wait, that was the last 10. I'm tripping. 34% from 3. Okay. Before I lock it in, do we want to take like Keegan Murray? Keegan Murray would fit, just like from a fit perspective.
You
But
could.
I don't want them to take Scotty Barnes either.
We're
So,
done.
oh, you guys are done. Oh yeah, that's right. My bad.
You guys have 5 or 4?
We have 4.
We have 4.
This is our last pick.
If you ask
Murray
me, they
would
had
fit.
30.
And Keegan Murray had a great season.
All right, let's play it safe. We'll take the All-Star. We'll take Scotty Barnes.
All right.
So I'll go over our team, and then you guys can go over your team, and we'll let the comments decide who wins. Our team, we have at point guard. I don't remember. Who's
De'Aaron
our point?
Fox.
We at point guard, we have De'Aaron Fox. At shooting guard, we have Desmond Bane. At the 3, we have Scotty Barnes. At the 4, we have Jaren Jackson Jr. And at the 5, we have Victor Wembanyama. Stretch and defense. That's our motto over here.
Our forward can't rebound, but for our team, we got Stephen Curry at the 1, at the 2, DeMar DeRozan, at the 3, we got Mikal Bridges, at the 4, we got Lauri Markkanen, and at the 5, we got Sabonis.
You said we can't rebound?
I said Jaren Jackson can't.
And marketing can.
Yeah, and marketing can. That's what I was gonna
We're
say.
gonna build these teams, and I promise you, you guys won't.
I was
Your
just
team won't see the light of day.
Yeah, right. Have fun bringing it in on Victor
won't.
Wembanyama and the defensive player of the year from last year. Go ahead. Take the ball inside.
You guys won't score a point. I'll make sure of it.
DeRozan can hit some threes. Don't worry.
that is going to be an end of Good Morning Let's Basketball this week. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys like this so far, please drop a like and a subscribe. We're trying to hit our goal of 700 subscribers by the end of May. And we drop podcasts every week on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll see y'all next week.